Hey guys, my name is Dr. Ozzy Rodas.
And I'm Dr. Jacob Rogers.
And we're here at the ABQ Dental Implant Center, and we're answering all your questions about dental implants. Now, the biggest question that we sometimes get is, or actually there's a misconception, right? About what full mouth implants are and the different types of material, and today we're going to clarify that.
We've done a lot of these over the years, right?
Yeah.
And we've used a lot of different materials to kind of get patients their smile back.
And definitely if you're going to be investing a lot of money, or if you're going to be investing money in this type of procedure, and if you've been to different consults before, what you're looking at is not only the price, right? You got to look at the materials. And so some of the materials that are used, we're going to go ahead and review them because we've had some patients come in from other offices that have used other materials that we've found not to be the best long-term.
Right. And ultimately, when we restore somebody's smile, we want it to last as long as possible. And so our goal when we do a case is to use the material that's going to be the best long-term solution for them. And so, yeah, let's talk about some of these.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with, we had this patient come in from another office, and she came in with this traditional hybrid. Now, traditionally, the all-on-4 procedure was completed this way. But with time, we find that there's been a lot of complications, and the biggest complication is that the acrylic teeth start to break off the titanium bar.
Yeah, and that's important to note, right? When we do a denture, we make it out of the same material, right?
Yeah, and then how long do you think those denture teeth will last?
Not forever.
Not forever.
Sure. Yeah.
So typically we tell them about 5 to 10 years, right? But if you're harder on your teeth, it's not even going to last you that. But going back to this material, basically there's a couple of parts, right? So there's a titanium bar that will attach directly onto the implants. And then on top of that, they'll put these acrylic teeth, and then there's this pink acrylic base. So really there's 3 different types of materials, and so for them all to stay together is very difficult. And so especially with the forces that you're able to achieve with these dental implants, you're able to, have some high function, you're gonna end up breaking those acrylic teeth off, and repairing this can be very expensive. Now, if you've made the investment in a full set of implants, you're expecting it to last you a lifetime, but then when this breaks in 5 years, it can be very frustrating. So our purpose is to educate you as far as the materials. So what other materials do we have, Dr. Rogers?
So the other type of material we've used in the past is what's called a nano ceramic. So this material here, and essentially what it is, it's plastic embedded with ceramic particles to give it a little bit more strength. They look fantastic. They have a really good aesthetic quality to them. But we find that we have some of the same issues with this material as we've had with the traditional hybrid material, is that this material can still shear off or fracture off more than we've seen in some of the other materials we use. And in this case, if you'll see, there's little metal housings here. We still sometimes use these in our cases, but we try to avoid them. Just like this, the more pieces you put into the teeth, the more chances of failure, right?
Yeah, and we want to avoid that. And we're gonna go ahead and take this model off of here. Okay. So from our previous video, you know that the teeth will connect onto the multi-unit abutments, and that's what this little metal cylinder will engage into. Now, we've already described kind of the problems we've had with this traditional hybrid and then with this nano ceramic hybrid. Of course, it looks beautiful, but one of the more long-term solutions is a full zirconia set of teeth. And within this solution, we do have a little bit of variance, right? So with this model, it is made out of zirconia, which is going to be essentially the strongest material. We have different shades. This patient wanted something a little bit more natural, so that's the reason why I've got a little bit more color there. And this also has those titanium cylinders on the inside. And as we've described earlier, the more pieces that you have, higher risks of 1 part or 2 parts falling off. Sometimes these will debond and they'll come off, and then we have to re-cement it together. So what we've been doing more recently, we've kind of gone away from this and we've gone over to a different model.
Yeah, so instead of using 2 different materials, the metal to the zirconia, we found that we can fabricate a full set of teeth in the zirconia all the way through. So there's no metal part. These attach directly to the implants themselves. So there's less areas or situations where we can get failure. And this material is tough. It looks fantastic. It's beautiful stuff.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
Yeah,
it's very natural.
It sounds like glass. It's got kind of a glass sound to it, but this is almost impossible to break.
Yeah, they've got a great commercial where they run it over with a semi truck, but
yeah,
we don't recommend eating nails.
Yeah, so this is our goal when we do a case where we want to give somebody their smile back. so they can chew what they want to eat without having to worry about things fracturing or having problems with time. This is what we're aiming for.
Exactly.
Is zirconia all the way through.
Yeah. And so as far as when you're looking at your consultation and you're looking at your estimated cost, try to ask what materials are they using, right? Because if you're going to be investing in a procedure, you want to do it once. You don't want to repeat this procedure. You don't want to be like this patient, coming in 5 years after you've invested and looking at these other materials that are much better. We also offer other materials that are not made to last a long time. They're at a lower price point, right?
Right.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. So it is amazing what we can do nowadays with modern materials in 3D printing.
Yeah.
These are sets of teeth that we 3D print in a ceramic resin material. Very, very durable. They're not meant to be a long term, but we find that this material has been just as strong as some of our original acrylic materials. Right?
Yeah. And we just offer this as an entry level, but we just remind patients this is a temporary solution with this type of material. It's not made to last forever. Really, if you're looking for something long term, the zirconia would be the way to go. But we realize that sometimes offering other options that are a little bit lower entry points is important too.
Right. And as you can see, like all of these are very different. We've got different colors in the gum tissue, different colors of the teeth themselves. Ultimately, we have a lot of control over how these are going to end up looking. Right?
Definitely. Yeah. And what we do is we want to make sure that we design a smile specifically for you. We don't want to give you someone else's smile. We want to make sure that you look natural and you're really happy and beautiful. And as we mentioned, we have different color, size, shape, so that we can achieve the smile that you deserve. So just to summarize everything, we're going to go back to the basics. So traditional, this is a hybrid, has a titanium bar, acrylic teeth, and some pink acrylic material. We also have the zirconia model with the titanium bases on the inner portion here.
Then we have a zirconia that is zirconia all the way through. Teeth, gum tissue, directly connects to the implants themselves.
And then the one that we highly recommend is going to be the full zirconia, and that's what we call the full circle solution. And so if you want to learn more about these different options and to see if you're a good candidate, go ahead and click the link below, and we look forward to meeting you here soon.